With saying an error has occurred. That's the intro. Welcome to the stream. Here we have the man, the legend, the full measure. Sorry, the beard, the full measure. I forgot the beard there.
Thank you so much.
So if you want to give yourself a shout out, let us know who you are. I'm sure everyone knows who you are already, to be fair, but oh God.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. But so I of course know you fine chaps through Outriders. I think it's the glue that binds us all together. But yeah, I am a content creator on YouTube, of course, and I stream on YouTube as well. And yes, I am very much in love with the same game that you guys are in love with, which is Outriders. And yeah, that's basically it. So I make videos about not just Outriders, but games like that. I'm a huge fan of looter shooters. And that's basically it.
Yeah, so
and I think
variety, aren't you? You've done.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to be not beholden to one game. So because we know that, like, no matter what, though, trends and games and stuff like that, they pass, right? And so to be tied to one game means that eventually, when the interest in that game dies out, then you might find yourself out in the rain. So yeah, that's basically the philosophy that I've been trying to follow. But at the same time as well, you don't want to diversify too much, because you want people to kind of come to you for something. So I've very much I've enjoyed the support that I've gotten in the community for Outriders, because it's a game that I love very much, and I think you guys feel the same way about it. And we share a fantastic audience who are present in the chat right now as we speak. People that enjoy playing the game with us and hanging out with us and talking about the game. So the game's been very kind to me. So that's one of the reasons why I also love it so much.
Perfect. So we'll sort of jump straight into the questions. So if there are any questions as well that the audience do have, I know it's jumped as well. There's only 4 of us watching now, but it's jumped up to 9. But yeah, if you do have any questions for Mr. Measure, or for us as well, shoot them over and we will get to them. But I think the first question is obviously going to be initial thoughts on that release trailer. What did you see that you believed to be good, and what could potentially be sort of a downside or maybe a downfall of the from what you've seen from the trailer?
Yeah, so I look. First of all, the general style of the trailer, and this is gonna probably make some people that aren't a fan of this particular game that I'm gonna mention now, gonna make them groan. But the style of the trailer made me think of Destiny a lot, to be honest. Focus on like a squad of 3 moving, and they're shooting, and like like the takedowns of the enemies, and showing off the guns, and then these wide panning shots of like and then deploying like a melee ability and all of that. So the style of it, certainly, I think that's whether they specifically chose to emulate that or not, but it definitely seemed that way. But I had no problem with that. I thought it was fantastic. I think from a spectacle perspective and the way that they cut it together, it was really well done. I really like this style. And funnily enough, I mean, this is, of course, the only people standing in the way of this expansion being good is people can fly themselves. So I think that the presentation that they gave was really good. Of course, I can sit here and I can say things like I would have enjoyed another 2 or 3 minutes. I would have liked a little bit more spending time on the systems, everything like that. But we got to give it time. We got 2 more months to go. We don't know. Maybe we get 1 or 2 more broadcasts, maybe 3, maybe get 1, whatever. But the point is, there's more time for that. I think it was good for getting that initial interest, and it definitely got my interest. And that's why I can honestly say that when I watched it in its entirety, there really wasn't anything that made me go like, uh-oh, or this doesn't look like it's. There was one thing though, but this is me sitting here and nitpicking. And so I'll even see if you guys recall what I'm referring to. And that is specifically near the end where we had the portion with Robbie, and Robbie was explaining 1 or 2 like sort of like fielding questions that they thought that they were going to get. And one of the things was, and I think the origin of this was probably due to the fact that I believe in my audience, I found a lot of people, and I think you guys have come across it as well. Some people are concerned that it's priced too high. That the price is a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think this was a direct attempt at them to address this, and basically how it was framed from Robbie's side was, it wasn't literally saying something like this is why it costs so much, but it seemed like what they were saying was let's talk game length, and they were saying what you have to remember is that there's two portions to this expansion. There's the additional campaign, which you unlock the packs, upgrades, and all of that stuff. But in actual fact, this is a very small part of the game because the real meat and potatoes, the good stuff, sits in the new end game, the real game. And I think this is a way of them saying that don't expect a massive campaign. Don't expect something that's 10 hours, 15 hours, or something like that. Expect something that you possibly get through in maybe 2 evenings, and you get your 5 packs points, and now you're ready for the end game. And so if you're paying your $30 or your $35, know that most of your money is going to that end game and not to the new story mode. And that might probably upset some people, I suppose. So that's really the only takeaway that I had from the thing. The only thing that I could really put my finger on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'd say with the campaign, from what we have been told, it obviously depends on your skill level, how good you are at the game, your gear, and what apocalypse tier you're going to play through it on. So if you're going to start at 15 and work your way through it, or if you're going to start from 1 and work your way up that way. The campaign supposedly is going to be 5 to 10 hours, depends on skill level.
Okay.
And I guess how much you delve into it as well.
Yeah.
So whether we don't know this, but whether there's any Easter eggs and stuff, anything, any like tangents that you can go off, kind of thing as well. That could always.
Well, they've certainly shown that they're keen on doing something like that with those new expeditions we got with New Horizons. So yeah.
And then the end game supposedly 200 plus hours.
Yeah, so I mean, like just for me to attach something to that is, we all, at least the people on this call, we have multiple classes, right? You have all your classes full, right? And the point is you have to do this on each one of them, right? So it's not just one time that you unlock it. It's each character slot. So if it takes you 200 hours to do one, then if you want to end up doing 6, you can only see the magnitude of hours that we're talking about here. So I by no means with my earlier comment, I was trying to insinuate that the value for money is not there. Yeah. I see the value for money there. But I do think that there are people that are coming, and we know this for a fact, that are coming to play this for the story / single player / messing around a little bit. And they might feel a little bit cheated, I guess, walking away with a 5-hour campaign or a 6-hour campaign and then going like, oh shit, now I have to do end game and I don't really feel like doing it. Something like that. That's not me, but those people are out there.
The good news actually though is with the end game, there is actually story elements within there, so there will be cutscenes and whatnot. So you will learn part of the story from playing the end game as well. So that's
great.
A plus, I would say. It's only a little thing, but
I mean, if anything, this game deserves to expand on the lore more. That's how you build the universe. That's how you drum up the interest for players to go like, holy shit, I want an Outriders 2. Can we please start talking about that? That sort of thing. So absolutely, like I'm all for that. But like to circle back to your original question, like I saw a lot more that I liked than potentially what I didn't like, and that's a fantastic. That's a good compliment that you can give any trailer, to be honest.
What are you most looking forward to? For me, it's going to be the legendary weapons and mods. Obviously, I think armors. I don't care about armors. It's the weapons that we're looking forward to. I think.
Yeah, look, it's a looter shooter, right? It's a looter shooter, so it's the loot, right? It's that sweet moment where you see the yellow light punching its way into the sky, and you're like, oh, it's go time. And now is maybe you guys can like, I'd love for you guys to confirm this for me. When an apocalypse items drop, does it shine red?
No, it's still the same color.
Was it still the same color? I want to
It's still the
say
same color, 100%. Because I
when,
went
when
through
you
the
pick
footage.
it up, it does have a different shine to it. So
Yeah,
you
it
see
has a
it
different
in the
shine to it
right
on the
corner.
item cards
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
But when it's the actual light beams and all that kind of thing,
Yeah.
it is the exact same. So you don't actually know until you actually hover.
Oh
over
man, they missed something there though, because if you made that thing go like red, but then on the other hand, there's the surprise of going like, ah shit, it's another legendary, and then you pick it up, you're like, oh,
This could be.
this has got the third slot. Let's go. Yeah.
It could be either way, can't it? Really, you can have it where it drops and you go, "Oh, it's red,"
Yeah.
or you can have it
it's
where,
basically
"Oh,
when you
it's
get your-
it's a legendary," and then you go up to it, and I think it will show you the image as well as you're hovering over it, won't it? So you
Yes.
will see
Yeah, it does it there as
there
well.
and then.
Yeah.
That
So if you
it's
hit like
yeah.
H and it picks up everything, you're gonna see it scrolling in, and you're like,
And
oh
that,
my
yeah.
damn,
Yeah.
oh my damn, yeah. Okay, no, well, yeah. So yeah, the answer to your question, it's the loot, baby. It's always the loot. Of course, the campaign, it'll be interesting. There's some of the cutscenes in Outriders for me are genuinely funny, and I like the sense of humor of the game. I think it's got a specific style to it, which I enjoy. And those things are great, and I like the fights, and I like how you can, like when you shoot stuff and their heads explode and everything. Like the game it's a good looking game. It's a good looking game. But those things all, they take a backseat to the loot, baby. It's a looter shooter. We want to see those sweet drops. We want to look at, like oh my god, is this like the god roll that I've been waiting for 40 hours, that sort of thing. So absolutely the loot. That's my answer through and through.
Take a different approach to this then, because we've got Dante and weapons. And obviously, you're saying loot altogether, which completely understand, because some of it looks absolutely stunning.
Yes.
But my opinion on this is actually the builds and how it opens up pretty much every single class, because we've been pigeonholed into certain builds for so long.
Yeah.
But this end game now opens up into, from what we understand, there's no timers. We don't know the full details, but I think was it Play-Doh that did a video that mentioned something in the help files, mentioned something about some kind of like wave horde based kind of thing coming. We don't know the full details on it by all means, but that's what it hinted at. And the fact that that's going to be coming sounds like support builds are actually going to be needed now. Healing is actually going to be quite a big factor. What kind of extent is that going to come to? And the fact that the PAX trees open up so many brand new builds and opens up like such. I mean, I was watching your Devastator PAX tree video earlier.
Thank you.
Such a good video, such a good breakdown. I was generally just watching it while I was cooking. It was perfect. And
thank you.
I was just like going.
That.
I was like, oh, do you know what? Not only is it giving a massive buff to anomaly power, but it's now actually making firepower builds. For
Devastator looks juicy. It looks so good. It looks so good.
Some of the speedrunning community stand by firepower devastators for getting some of the highest times because of ultimate damage link, but now this brings it to the masses that everyone can now run a firepower devastator, and it looks
so good. Like look, you speak the stuff that I'd like to hear, and everything that I said about loot now I'll stand by it, because I gotta stand by my comment. But you're right though, man. The builds are the thing. Like when you start wrapping your head around the introduction of those 5 points in packs, and then it flips the script completely. For me, you just referred to Devastator, which is what my video was on. But like Devastator, with the fact that you can now open up mod slots because you can make everything bleed just from that one pack point that you can put in there, and also the fact that now, yes, Devastators don't have a bullet skill, but they have a packs point they can put in, and there's their bullet build there. So they finally have a bullet build. Is huge. It's huge. I mean, it's what people have been asking for.
Technically, they've always had a bullet build according to the devs.
Yeah.
Reflect Bullet was their bullet build.
Yes, yeah, and their bullet was basically their bullet build was as effective as the bullets you threw at them.
Yeah, so I'm not saying it was a good bullet build, but that was their bullet build.
Yeah. So I just want to actually refer to something quickly. A viewer sent me a screenshot that apparently one of the ambassadors had I don't know if we call this leaking or whatever, but had shown on stream, and I don't know who the ambassador is, and I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus here. But this actually showed a help page that explained how the trials are going to work. So the trials are, of course, the new in-game activity, and it made it seem that basically what it is you know, your van that you have, your caravan, you know, as you travel with, you essentially travel through this trial, and you have this waypoint system that you have to go through, and you have these camps that you rest at. And as you move through that, there's new areas that you stop off, and these areas can be one of 5 different activities. So one is like a boss rush, one is like a survive a certain amount of waves, the other one is something. So this basically kind of like blew the lid on what this is, but again, it's very different. It's super small, and I literally sat there zooming in and, you know, like a complete arsehole trying to figure this out. But it seems like this new thing is going to allow you to essentially choose your way, how you pilot yourself through this trial, and this is never ending up until the point where you fail, and then it starts over, which seems like a weird mixture of choose your own adventure and an endless activity, which is both things that people have asked
I like
for.
the sound of it. I have no idea on it personally.
I know the video you're talking. Well, you've mentioned a stream. I don't know about a stream, but I have seen a video that's got it in, which would be Play-Doh Bears, if I remember right.
So what I'm gonna do, right, is I'm gonna forward you, and I mean, we don't have to get into this right now, right?
Yeah, sure.
But I'm gonna forward this to you guys. I'm actually just gonna take the picture right now. Copy image, and you know, we have that sexy group of ours where we hang out on. I don't know if I paste this in here now. Does that work? Show chat. Boom. Okay, so I'm just gonna paste that little sucker in there.
Sure.
So it's in there. Have a look at that, guys. But that definitely seems very interesting. I don't know if you guys have some way that you want to throw it up here, or even that way make a video on it or something like that, because you guys are the ambassadors.
It's Play-Doh, isn't it?
Is that Play-Doh?
I believe it
is.
may be.
I don't know what Play-Doh looks like.
I think it's. I've only recently. Saw
It is him. You're right, because look at the little cushion in the bottom corner, right? That's his. Yeah, that's his thing, right? Yeah. So there you can see, right? It says the trial of, and these names always make me laugh, right? This is the trial of Tarya Garatar or whatever, and then it explains the entrance, the crossroads, skirmish, landmark, trial, and final trial. So it's basically like you go through, but it's very. If that's the case, it's very, very interesting. I actually like the sound of it. I really do.
I've had a brief look there, but yeah, I'm interested now. I'll have a proper look into that. But
Yes.
The way it sounds, because I don't know how many people have got experience with Tiny Tina's Wonderlands as it currently stands, but the end game of that is you finish a room which has some kind of additional modifier on it, and then you have to choose one of 2 paths. And then at the end of that path, you then get like
you can
an
choose
option
a
to go
loot
on
path,
to,
a
like,
gem path, a
This
modifier
definitely
path
seems like
thing,
something
so-
like that, right?
Similar to that, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
it'd be interesting to see their spin on that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But which one's the best one to really go for? I mean, obviously entrance, you know, is a standard. A final trial is standard, but landmark. Offers
Yeah,
better
so
loot.
one
I
of
mean,
them
they're
is like
gonna go for
basically
that.
like a boss fight. The other one is fighting like a bunch of waves and whatever. But yeah, and then it's like you said though, right? Maybe some nuance is missing here for us, right? Because it could be that when you're standing and you're picking, then it says this one your health doesn't regenerate, and this one you only have 600 bullets, or you know, like maybe there are modifiers.
Well, we do
And
know
that
there
if-
are going to be modifiers. So depending on your apocalypse tier, there's going to be modifiers on yourself and the enemies as well. So you could be
Yes.
hitting the nail on the head there, where apocalypse tier. Let's just go straight for apocalypse tier 45. Is it 40? Oh no, 40, isn't it? Sorry.
40.
Max, yeah.
Apocalypse tier 40. If you do it on this, then you'll have these 10 modifiers. If you do it on 39, you'll have these 9 modifiers, slightly different. So
Yeah.
you might be able to choose what you do it on as well.
I
Maybe.
mean, plotting those out though, right? So I just ran some numbers, and because we can see the first couple of apocalypse tiers, it basically, if it grows exponentially like the way that we've seen those first tiers, it means that we will be looking at enemies getting 4,800% additional HP, being able to deal 2,800% additional damage, and your status abilities on enemies being limited by, you know, less than like 300% or something like that. So I imagine Apocalypse 40 is going to be tough.
It's a good job
Is
we're
what I'm
getting
saying.
level
It's going to be
75
the new
gear.
standard, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be tough. Like you're gonna have to be able to do that comfortably. You're gonna have to be fully kitted out in Apocalypse gear.
Yeah, so you're going to need that third mod, aren't you? You're going to need the...
And your ascension levels need to be beefed up a
third
little
mod.
bit, and all that stuff.
It has to be a good third mod. So that's the thing.
And
You
that's,
know,
that's
that's where the
that's the thing.
200
All you
hours
want,
comes in.
high
It's not,
five,
it's not
and then a
like
good
turn
third
into
mod.
smoke when you roll or some shit like that. Like it's just not gonna do it.
I'm not fussed about armor. I mean, armor, you just roll it and you're like, oh, I've got a decent number or something like that. But if you go for a firepower build on this and you have to go for Apocalypse gear, you have to hope that you get a high roll.
Mhm.
You have to hope that you get it with a good third mod. You have to hope it comes
Yes.
with a third mod in the first place.
Yes. Yes,
Then you have to
exactly.
hope it's a good third mod. Otherwise, you have to go get another one. And you start the process again.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the one that everyone's going to be on the grind for. It's
So
gonna be the
something
If I can
something
get
that
a
they've
death
also
shield.
mentioned. Yeah.
Death shield with
Something
dark
that they've
sacrifice on
also
it.
yeah, oh my god. Something that they've also mentioned though is that it seems like what they're gonna try and do to really drive home the exclusivity of like a really good rolled weapon that drops at high Apocalypse tiers is that third mod comes from something that they call a limited pool.
Yeah,
And
so
so
always a top mod, yeah.
yeah, and so it's actually gonna take some shitty tier 1 mods out that would just be like dumb to begin with, and there's really no way you can make it. So that's good news number 1. But then good news number 2, or not good news number 2, I suppose, like kind of like icky news, is that the tier 3 mods that can potentially roll into that slot, into your third slot,
Yeah.
is actually weighted by at which Apocalypse tier it fell. So the really, really good ones are only going to drop at the top.
High tier, yeah.
Makes sense to give you a reason to play at that higher tier, though, doesn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. By the way, I didn't try, but some people are going to complain about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what
I
it
mean,
is.
it doesn't matter what decision you make. There's always going to be some.
Oh yeah,
people
yeah.
that complain,
No,
doesn't there?
exactly.
But I'm waiting for my epic burst rifle that drops with dark sacrifice as the apocalypse tier and all that
Dude,
crap.
let's go.
That's gonna be
Like,
good.
I mean, it's almost like that's your mic drop moment. You're like, I can stop playing now, but I mean, obviously you're still gonna play because it's great. But you can stop playing then because you've just hit the trifecta right
I
there.
can see it happening on a body snatcher, and I'd be like, oh,
Body snatcher with dark sack. Brilliant. Shall we have a quick skim through the chat because it's actually disappearing? So I've missed the first probably like 10 messages, but happy anniversary to Roman.
Yes,
I did
happy
see you
anniversary.
mentioned that.
I didn't leave.
Apparently, you look very serious, Mr. Christopher.
Yeah, I did. Apparently, I was just staring while I was doing the promoting, and apparently, I have a very nice smile shortly after that as well.
I did see
There
MJ
you go.
mention that he's just not long out the shower, and he has the same hair as me. So I like to know that people are styling
Okay.
themselves after me.
That's nice.
That
That means you're looking fresh. You're fresh to death as you're just sitting there in front of the TV. Very nice.
Outrider's 2, you never thought of that as well. Laura was unsure about the 3 mod slots, but yes, so Apocalypse Gear will be getting that 3rd mod slot. Oh, I did see a
Only for
question
Epic
as well
Damage,
that
right?
has disappeared. Sorry, I can't remember who asked that one. I think it was Davo, I believe it was asking about the why did the developers not think about
the locking and all that.
locking
kind of gear
and
loadouts.
expanded storage and whatnot. They are aware that everyone wants it, is the thing, and I think they said to me potentially that it's not coming day one, but there is every chance that it could come further down the line. So it's not that it's not coming; it's that it
It's just not coming now.
might hopefully
Yeah.
come soon. They are aware of it, and there might be some things that they need to sort out before they can do it. Increase the size of the database and whatnot, and
I feel
I'd
like
rather it be
this
done
game
right.
is dealing with similar issues that we saw Bungie dealing with Destiny right at the beginning, where it's because the game is created to run on multiple different platforms, and it's also next gen and current gen and future gen. The point is like the common denominator is they want to make the memory block sizes as small as possible. Again, like I'm not trying to like say like I know how this was programmed or anything, but it seems like there's a lot of technical limitations here, and we have to remember that this game was created to also run on the fucking Stadia, so this is a huge problem. so that's not good, but I hope that there are ways for them to circumvent these technical issues and actually bring some of those quality of life things to us.
Yeah.
It would really mean a lot, I think, to the player base as a whole.
Uncaged Wildcat has turned up. It's been a while.
Nice.
He's had a crazy few months. I believe he said he's got someone further down. He's got a new job and whatnot. So congratulations on
Congratulations on
that.
that.
Great to see you again.
Definitely.
We're on the big TV for William as well. William's got us on his 55-incher.
Nice. That's nice.
We've made it to the big league.
That's the biggest TV I've ever been on. Getting somewhere.
Apparently
something's huge for Roman. Not sure what.
I think they were talking about TV sizes at that point, to be fair. Someone mentioned 9 inches and I thought...
there we go.
That's a very small TV, I'm not going to lie. A 9-inch TV, it's not going to do it.
I've just seen a really good question just pop through from Retribution, which is... I'm hoping Mr. Measure can answer this first for me, because I believe he's done a similar video on this already. But how would you guys feel if they nerfed a metric ton of stuff to set a common performance threshold for both over and underpowered builds?
Okay, so
yeah, you did do a video on that, didn't you?
I did a video on it, and it is the video with the highest dislike ratio of all of my videos I've ever done.
It's a good job they're taking the thumbs down out of the.
I'm glad. An engagement is an engagement, right?
It is, yeah.
But no, so I out of the 340 odd videos that I've created in my career as a YouTuber, this is officially the one that has the lowest.
I should have said that. If only there was a dislike counter.
Yeah, but I felt, look, what's interesting is nobody's actually spoken to me about this on any of the streams that I had, and it's difficult to explain it like in comments to people, and most people had a very visceral reaction to it, where they're like, yeah, but dude, you're a YouTuber, and YouTubers have like tons of time to play, and us fucking guys don't have time. So guys approach it from that side, and I was like, okay, cool. Hold on, I feel like you're missing the message. But here's the thing, though. I said in that video, they either need to nerf things or bring some stuff into line, or there's something happening that we don't know about. That is the same thing and accomplishes the same thing. And it happened. It's Apocalypse Gear.
I must say, I was watching that video laughing because but at that point, we had played World Slayer. I was laughing, thinking, like, he said that it needs to be this one or this one, and I just want to tell him it's this one, but I can't.
And to me, the thing that I wanted, the thing that I addressed, the thing that concerned me has been dealt with. They introduced Apocalypse Gear, so here's the thing, right? I'm like a CT-15 capable dude that runs in there with my let's use Death Shield, right? That's the meme weapon that everybody so I come there with my Death Shield. It's a perfectly rolled Death Shield. That doesn't matter, by the way, because mostly it's used for Fortress. But let's say it's a Death Shield that you're using on your Trickster, and so you want the damage to roll high. So I've got a God roll Death Shield. And some dude off the street rolls in, he buys the game, he buys the expansion attached to it, and he uses his first character creation to make himself a character that's immediately able to do World Slayer. He walks out the door, he shoots an enemy, and it drops him a Death Shield with the third mod slot. Automatically, his weapon is better. Just like that. So they've dealt with it in that way. It's certainly, it's not the most elegant way, because here's the thing. Me, you, all of us with these hyper-geared characters, we are still going to blast through the campaign, and we're immediately going to start farming in-game. Yeah. And let's say, for instance, in doing that, we find new builds and new ways of, PAX talents being, let's say we find broken builds. The same way how it happened when the game launched. And that shit ruins the end game, and some of us are able to get so far into Apocalypse tiers because we just into Ascension and also into the end game, that we just blow shit up, and they nerf it. Then people will turn around and say, why didn't you bring these builds into line? Why didn't you reset the starting experience there? Because now when normal, I use the term normal, that's a terrible fucking word, but when the rest of the population that didn't have these builds already catch up, then they might feel nerfed because their toys have been taken away. And that's the thing. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's what happened the first time around. So hopefully it doesn't happen again. But my point was, I wasn't trying to ruin anybody's fun by saying that. But I do understand how this game works. And what I mean by that is I do understand how the people and the way that they think about this game also works. And that inevitably you are going to, a couple of weeks, maybe even days into this expansion being out, you are going to have people having the conversation like, was this shit too easy? Was it too easy for us to, get the campaign done? Was it too easy for us to complete a end game activity, the trials of, Umfufu or whatever it's called? You know what I mean. But that's really the sort of the angle that I approach this from. But I understand, people feel that like nerfs is like this. It's like the second most hated N word.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I get it, but I had to say it and I had to get it off my chest because I really do feel that there are some outlier builds. Like, I'm sorry, but the way how speed run pyros are able to solo power through content with what they get from reload boost is ridiculous.
Yeah.
There is nothing else like it. There is nothing else. Nothing compares to that. So, be that as it may, and I can fully say that because it's my favorite build in the game. It is the way I play. So, it is what it is.
I'm not against nerfs, though. That's the thing. I think this is where a community misconception kind of comes in. Like, obviously, there's a vocal minority. Well, I say minority, but obviously, when they first did the first bunch of nerfs that when Outriders first dropped within like the first week or two, it definitely wasn't a minority whatsoever. It was definitely a majority that were very vocal.
That was very much hated across the board.
I think the good thing with that was I was playing Pyro, so Pyro didn't really get affected.
No, Techno got hit.
Whereas Techno,
you were like, yes, screw these Technos.
I just watched my cooldown on my Bludgeon Rounds and went, no.
Yeah, this is terrible.
But the thing is, we look back now, obviously those nerfs were fully hated and all that kind of thing. We had the change to Fortress and Moaning Winds. I don't hear anyone, apart from obviously some people who are saying, you know what, Fortress is absolutely terrible now. Which, to be fair,
it's not though.
It's not horrible, but it's definitely more firepower than anomaly power.
It's just not like an auto include anymore.
Yeah.
Where before it was like you were either like someone that was lucky to have Fortress or some asshole that was waiting for it to drop. That's exactly. It. That was it.
So but no one really, apart from those, no one really comments about the changes that happened with that. They were in effect nerfs.
Yeah,
but no one, everyone's just kind of got on with it, and everyone's relatively happy with it in the community, and that was a needed nerf because Moaning Winds was the meta. Moaning Winds just pretty much dominated everything. Now, granted, it's Funeral Pyre with Claymore Torrents on it, but everyone, no one's running 3 Moaning Winds anymore, and it's now made it into a more healthy kind of environment to be in, and I think that's what they actually need to take that kind of process, and they need to grasp it and not be scared of the community in a way. I don't think they are, but you could be a bit.
No, but that's a very valid point. That's a very valid point you're making there, because the thing is, I know that we're talking about Outriders right now, but like something which blew my mind recently is that after massive community backlash, Sifu as a game is now introducing difficulty levels.
Isn't it? Yeah,
and that is a studio. I'm gonna call it what it is, but that is a studio caving to criticism. Like, you got to stick to your guns with these things, and the thing is, like, I feel that way. Like with People Can Fly, I fully agree with what you're saying. They should feel comfortable to do with the game what they think is healthy for the game. And they shouldn't fear because again, you used another term that I love, and that's this vocal minority. We have to remember that if I don't know what the percentages are, but if we take the people that play Outriders, and then we take the people that play Outriders and post on Reddit, that's a huge difference. Huge. Yeah. And we can't let these guys, and I post on Reddit, so I'm not shitting on Reddit posters. I'm saying we can't let a vocal minority control the decision making for a game. Just the same way as some dude with a beard can't make a video on YouTube and call for nerfs and then they listen to me. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. they should feel comfortable to work with the game within the sandbox that they've created, and they should feel like to do things to the game that makes the sandbox healthy. They should. That's it.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Yeah, they're not trying to sabotage their own title at the end of the day.
No,
I mean,
no,
they clearly
they want
want
it
people
to-
to
Why
be able
would
to play
they?
it and be able
Why
to
would
pay
they?
for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, there's definitely a power struggle, and the reason why I bring that up is because I've looked extensively at 2 of the pack trees so far. I've got to look over the Pyro. I mean, I've had a browse, but I haven't looked into it properly. But the Devastator tree, the Pax tree, it does so much for the firepower build that it almost in theory, brings it up in line with anomaly power builds. And anomaly for the bottom tree of the Pax tree have got a boost, and they actually feel more rewarded for actually using the Pax tree. And that sounds balanced to me.
Yes.
But then I look at the Techno build and the Pax tree, and what worries me is the fact that the meta will become more meta. And why that's the case is I assume you've had a look over it, but there's if you go top tree Pax tree and you go top tree firepower, which everyone knows top tree firepower, Technomancer is one of the meta builds that's currently out in the game.
Absolutely.
You've got things that increase your firepower by 15% just from activating a skill, which you're going to be doing anyway with your Blighted Turret.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be getting a bit of boost from there. You've got increased health regen, which when you pair that with the tier 2 mob, the Cycle, you're going to be getting 60% weapon damage from. Just a standard, just from hitting enemies, which is just insane.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go in top tree on that, you're now inflicting more statuses, which do damage or make enemies immobile, and then you do more damage for every single enemy that's got more statuses applied to it. And it's just like, none of the anomaly power builds, like the rocket launcher, got anything like that.
No.
They got a bit of a boost, but they got nowhere near the same degree.
In fact, I'd say that something was very interesting for me is when we look at Technomancer and we look at bottom tree Technomancer, which is supposed to be the anomaly side, right?
Yep.
It's actually going into a support role, right? It's about throwing your turrets out, and they regen ammo, they heal, they give armor, they strip bad statuses and all that stuff.
Sounds amazing.
So, I like it. I like it a lot. Because finally we have the ability for us as players to not just pick a build, but to also pick a role and go like, you know what, dude, I'm gonna be like the cleric, dog. I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna keep you guys up. I'm gonna give you some ammo. Let's build something around that. Let me be the heal bro, and I've got you guys going. Yeah. And then like if you look at Pyromancer, you have that, you actually have like a warlock Pyromancer now, right? That has dots. So the fire build Pyromancer that drops fire that continues on burning for 500% additional time, that's dots. That's dots. That's a warlock. Like that's, yeah. So I'm super excited for this. It's going to be interesting to see because we're only looking at Pax trees right now. So our heads are buzzing and we're thinking about possibilities. And I don't know if this is tying back to what you were trying to say about, or the point you were making about meta being too meta, right? Or meta becoming the meta, is that these things, they might all be really good, but in the end, it's still the best just for you to go straight forward, blighted rounds, techno, because it just blasts everything else out of the water.
Yeah. Yeah, with Devastator, you've got a choice. You know, because of obviously how strong the top tree Pax tree is for firepower, you now have a legitimate choice to be able to go, oh, do I go firepower or do I go anomaly power? Whereas with Technomancer, because of that bottom tree being more support-oriented, let's say, you don't have that, I don't think. I think it's just purely top trees telling you, yeah, firepower is the best you're probably going to get out of this Technomancer, and that's it. You can be support, but this just blows it completely out the water. And I do want to be able to mess about with it, and I'm the sniper one definitely has my interest. I definitely want to mess about with that. But I'm still, I guarantee I'm still going to be gravitated towards actually still going for that top tree.
Well, that's the thing. Something that has occurred to me with the Pax trees is that they are heavily flavored in you making a decision whether you're playing solo or whether you're playing in a group. They actively make you choose between like something that is beneficial to your partners around you. A very good example is Trickster has one of its middle. I obviously I don't remember the name of the thing, but basically it says that every time when you activate an ability, you gain 15% shield and your allies gain 10% shield. So the thing is, like, to me, there's a clear focus on pack trees. Like when you're gonna sit down and play the game, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna play alone for like 4 or 5 hours. So I'm gonna go for like the trees that doesn't benefit any of my allies, anything like that, and it basically is maybe more glass cannony and deals more damage. Or you go the opposite direction that has more survivability. Or I'm playing with my 2 buddies, and so now I choose the pack tree that gives them a little bit of armor or heals them when this happens or this or that. And I'm all for that. Once again, what you're doing is you're putting the choice in players' hands.
Yeah.
You're and again, it is true what you're saying. Absolutely. The meta will always be the meta. There will always be a more efficient way to do something, a faster way to do something. But with the exclusion of times, it means that if you don't want that to be a problem for you, it doesn't have to be.
True.
If you want one guy to be the tank, one guy to be the healer, and one guy to be the sniper in the back that snipes everything down, you can do that. And that's cool. That's the game that everybody wants, I think.
You can play the game the way you want to play it, then
Yes.
that's always going to be much better than being stuck on a rail, I guess. Like, the expeditions are on a rail, as is really, and I guess the campaign is as well. So you need something that you can do the way you want to do it, and that's just how builds are currently, I guess, and how they're going to be even more so as well with World Slayer. Just want to quick say as well, so Tim Wainwright has become a member, so thank you very much for that. We greatly appreciate. In fact, you know what, let's take a shot for that. Let's take a shot.
Nice. Let's go. I mean, you guys need to warn me a little bit more with the shot shit. I need to go fetch then. Hold on.
I mean, you don't have to join if you don't want, so it's more for us.
This isn't sponsored by Jim Beam.
Oh, no, but I like to celebrate with my boys. Congratulations. I think that's fantastic. But good on you, Jim. You're doing the right thing. You're supporting the boys. Cheers, fellas.
Oh, that was more than a shot.
That is good stuff.
Oh God. That was at least 2.
That was well done. That was well done.
I didn't mean to take 2, but screw it.
It is what it is. I mean, we're here now. So.
Oh, feel nice and warm now.
I also like to point out we've only asked one question so far. We've gone 42 minutes.
We've at least done 2. We've at least done 2. We had thoughts on the trailer, and then we had what are we looking forward to most?
Yeah.
Was the other one? Yeah. So we're making progress, boys. We got this. We got this.
And the next one actually it should be a nice quick one actually. So the Ascension tree, we were actually initially told by the developers. Well, their words were when we asked, what was it? We asked how many. Are you limited to how many points you can put into each tree, sort of thing? And we were told there'll be 200 points in total. You can put them wherever you want, and choices will have to be made. Which said to us that if you wanted to put 50 points into
cooldown reduction, you could
reduction, you can do that. Yeah. Turns out it is actually, well, the Archon, or Toby, has said now that it is only 10 points per slot.
Yes.
So the choices are have to be made.
So it's 10 points per slot, so it's 50, 50, 50, 50, and that gives us 200 in total.
Yeah, so eventually you will fill every single one. So the choices will have to be made was possibly misinterpreted in the sense that choices will have to be made, as in, I got 1 point now, where do I put it? What are your thoughts on that? Would you have preferred to had it where if you wanted to stick all 50 points into one area, so you could put your magazine size up by a metric shit ton, or
like basically give yourself cooldown reduction that you have no cooldowns.
Also,
something like
we
that.
do need to take another shot because DJ has dropped has dropped a lovely dono there.
Guys, okay, look, you can't have all this fun without me. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab the whiskey from next door. You literally have to give me like 12 seconds.
Yep, we'll wait.
Oh, I took a whole mouthful last time. Can I not count that as 2 shots?
No. But that's a you problem.
I took a whole mouthful. I didn't intend to take a whole mouthful. I don't know how I managed
That's
it.
why you need to go for something a bit smoother, like Stag's Breath. Oh, it goes down nicely.
Okay, here we go. Well, look, it's actually, I'm going to be honest, I'm looking for a reason to get this out of my life. So that's the other reason I'm doing it.
I did say you can send it my way if you want.
I'd rather just send you a brand new full one. This one's had some abuse to it. Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
And also cheers to everybody that's watching. Thank you guys so much
thank
for all
you
the
all so
support.
much for saying that.
Good stuff. Oh, that one went down a
Okay.
lot smoother than the last one as well.
So I feel two different ways about this whole ascension points thing, right? So, firstly, it now more closely resembles the Paragon system that we have with Diablo, right? Which has all these different stats that you can influence, but they also capped like you can only put a certain amount of points into each one. I think for me, right? I think this way that they did it, although I would have liked the idea of going, you know what, I'm going to put 200 points into cooldown reduction and see what that does. Or I'm going to put 200 points into this or 50 points, whatever. I think the idea is that the ascension point system or this tree will then always be a way that people try to exploit the game. If you had this thing where you could put like 200 of your points or your entire 200 into something, and I think the balancing around that would be a shit show. Plus, then the point is clearly certain stats would rise above others. To give you an example, if you're playing Anomaly, why would you ever put anything into Weapon Leech, for example, right, or something like that? So you put somewhere else. So my point is that I think this to them is just a healthy way of increasing a character's power level so that you, as a person that's played for 200 hours and you have your 100 ascension points, your character is just objectively more powerful than the guy that's just starting out without being stupid because you've put 100 points into Anomaly and now you're just blowing up everything on the screen every time when you overheat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's really the way that I feel about it.
Can I say one more shot for Tempest?
Oh.
Cheers, Tempest.
Is it now about
You guys are just really helping out with this emptying of this bottle. I love it. It's fantastic.
It's now about time to also point out we've had an email saying that we've had someone else donate through
That's
PayPal.
Kalik.
really?
That was I assume
Holy
that's
shit.
Kaliko or Creed. I mean, we could always take another shot for her contribution, I guess. It's only fair. Let's do a double on this one.
Fantastic.
I got work tomorrow. Oh.
I've got to drive to work tomorrow.
As do I. As do I.
Whoa.
Okay.
See, with the Ascension, my initial thoughts on it, which granted, when we worked off our original, what we were originally told, we knew there was going to be 50 maximum per category, which was absolutely fine. But you're right, it was a case of, oh, well, if I'm firepower, what stops me putting 50 points into weapon damage, 50 points into anomaly power to then benefit from like
the more we talk about it, the
enhancements.
more I think about it, the more it makes sense to have a maximum of 10.
each. Yeah.
I don't like it in a way still, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's about longevity, right? It's about the health of the game, like in the long run, where it's like the issue is that you don't. At least I imagine their way of looking at it is that you don't want to create a situation where, like, you remember why they nerfed Fortress? Because Fortress was an auto include for everything. Like, again, you were either the guy that had Fortress or the guy that didn't have Fortress. Now, this would be a case of if you have ascension points and you can just dump like 50 into one stat, then it would invalidate the other stats even being there. And they would have spent all that time programming and putting that in there where people to just go like, why would I ever take weapon life leech or weapon leech? I'm putting my shit into damage. That's it. It is what it is. And that's the thing. So it would have invalidated the whole idea of it. I think we just got another dono.
Yeah.
It's not come. Okay, I was about to say it's not come through on my side yet, but I can see it in the chat.
It's definitely come through on my side, baby.
Okay.
Let's go. Cheers.
Cheers. I was going to respond to some chats in a second as well.
I should have got something a bit lower alcohol percentage.
Yeah, well, little did you know it was going to be such a big success. Let's go.
Oh, Jesus.
It's getting quite sweet now, actually.
Okay. I suppose I do need to buy a new bottle or something. It's almost out.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing a good job on that. So let me ask you guys a question.
Sure.
All right.
Go for it.
What do you think? Which class? So it'll be a twofer, right? Which class, in your mind, do you feel has gotten the most rework, the most additional to them?
Yeah.
And I mean, consequently, then, which class are you looking forward to most to pilot right off the bat?
I still really like the Trickster, and the one thing I'm looking forward to actually playing with is I want to do a spin to win build. Purely based on the potential 700% increase to damage on
Continual hits.
on the melee hits, so basically.
Yeah, it's the capstone in the
Yeah.
middle tree that basically says like it's essentially the third time that you deal damage, it has a chance of scaling up to 700%, which is ludicrous.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. Also, we do need to take another shot now. In a second, we'll take the other shot.
Podcast will literally just be drinking soon. Hold on.
Can I just also mention that someone has said that they want to see all three of us drunk and see how we act. Can I suggest that we do that in a Hunt Showdown stream?
Well, I mean, it's look. I can also say, unfortunately, it's going to take a little bit more than this to make me drunk. so there is that. But yeah, it's absolutely more fun in a hunt stream. That's for sure.
We shall
because
do
at the
that
moment right
soon.
now, our mouths are supposed to be doing the work here instead of our our playing. So it's going to be a problem when we all start just like sort of like not being able to pronounce words and stuff, which is a general thing for me and to begin with. So it just gets progressively worse.
I love how you've suggested the one game that rewards accuracy
Exactly.
over anything else, and you want us to be pissed for it.
Why would I suggest anything else?
Can I just say I don't think I've ever played Hunt sober, so there's that. so we have to bear that in mind as well.
I'm already at the point where the alcohol's dripping out my mouth. So
we're taking the shot now. Okay. Well.
No, it has to stay inside, Dan. It has to stay inside. It can't come back out.
only a little bit.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, so my answer to your question would be, I think Devastator probably got the most.
Yeah, I think Devastator. From what I've seen, Devastator's got the biggest change. Purely the fact that you can go now and do a firepower build.
Exactly,
that
which is
big,
huge.
Which is huge.
It's huge. Yeah, 100%.
But don't get me wrong. I'm looking forward to trying out a firepower build because I have tried testing it and I genuinely got frustrated with it. So I'm going to be happy to be able to give it a proper go now. But I'm more interested in the Impale side of things because all this stocking up damage for your next skill,
yes,
and all that, and the fact that Impale can hit like a truck in the first place can now get even more, and I'm just excited for that. So so that's got me excited. In terms of which one I want to play first, though, honestly I keep flip flopping, going back and forth between.
You're going to be techno. Let's be honest. You are going to do techno.
Because the answer I had
it'll
for
be
this,
techno.
the answer I had for this was the same as I had on Monday because I love the Devastator. I'm a massive fan of Impale. I've always said from the start, and I did a video on it saying that Impale was the one skill. As soon as I saw it, that's the reason I want to buy outright.
Dude, Impale for life, man. I'm one of the ones also that have been defending the skill for fucking years, man. With people going, Impale is ass, it's terrible, and I'm like, it's not. It's good shit.
Yeah,
really, and it's going to be good shit now.
I'm going to say that I don't have a great Devastator, but the one that I've used, I have a lot of fun using Impale. Even if it's like 90% of the time it doesn't hit things like Broodmothers and stuff, it's still bloody good fun.
Look, Impale is a lot better now than it used to be. Remember when it used to like impale them and then you'd have to wait like 13 years?
You're
like isn't the expansion supposed to be over? The expedition supposed to be over? No, that guy over there is still being impaled, so it's still going to take a while. So I mean, they've taken steps to do that, but now multi-impale with the addition again. Impale already just now by default before the changes of World Slayer gives healing to your team. It's good shit. It gives health regen, and then multi impale is it's like you said though, it hits like a Mack truck.
Yeah, it takes a lot of mods to get there, but as soon as you actually do pile into it properly, and you do actually go.
And now if you have the mental fortitude to play around that whole ramp up mechanic, and you can get it to drop right with that, dude, I think it's gonna be fucking juicy.
I really hope so. But the thing is, I'm looking forward to doing that. But then I know. Like, the other part of my brain is, well, I love techno. I love doing support builds. because there's something about just like keeping the team alive and all that kind of thing. I love doing that kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to trying out bottom tree. But then I also know from the YouTube side of things that everyone wants to know the blooming best builder to be able to make, which means I need to go top tree, packs tree to be able to do a Technomancer, and Technomancers do better than Devastators when it comes to builds. So it's like, which do I do first? I honestly,
but then let me proposition you this way. Don't worry about it. Do all three, baby. It's just that's the thing. So the thing is, I just think like at least for me, right? And for me, I think the first one that I go with is hopefully the one, or not hopefully, it's the one that I want to potentially rush first to obviously 5 PAX points, but then also start dipping my toes into the end game. Yeah. And so that to me means that even though I'm interested in all these other ones, I will pick the most efficient one.
You have just reminded me. Sorry. You mentioned 5 PAX points there. It just reminded me of something you said earlier, which was actually wrong. You mentioned getting the 5 PAX points during the campaign. You only get 3 during the campaign, 2 during the end game. So I don't know when that will be.
Really?
I don't know. It might be reach wave. I don't know what the end game is. It might be reach wave 50. And you get a PAX point.
Oh, wow. Dude, you just blew my mind now. I thought we get all of those before we start.
No, you just reminded me by saying it again. So I thought, just say it now. So end game is where you get 2 of the PAX points. Wow. So you get 3 campaign, 2 end game. Where that will be, not a clue. But
okay, because I just want to say then I'm sorry, but then People Can Fly screwed up with that broadcast because they said 5 by the end of campaign. They said it in the broadcast.
I'll rewatch that actually, but no, in the interviews they did say 3 during the campaign, 2 during the end game. I could tell you where you get your first one.
Yes. Why I say this, right? Remember that they kind of like refused to speak about the end game in this broadcast. Yeah. And they said you get your 5 PAX points as you complete the campaign at different milestones, and then you're ready to start the end game. That's how they go look at it. That's how they worded it. It's not good though, if that's the case. But
I'll look through. But
it's not a train smash. Yeah. I doubt they would make them impossible to get. You know what I'm saying? Like they wouldn't put them like at like what is it called? Apocalypse level like 40 or something like
tier.
No, exactly.
Like get to like wave 100 or something.
Maybe it would be something like complete your first full run through of one. Could be one. And the other one could be maybe like, I don't know, hit wave 10 or hit level 10 or, whatever.
Yeah, the only thing I'm hoping it's not going to be is, like, you saw that chest, didn't you, in the broadcast? I'm hoping it's not going to be like a chance drop. Oh, look, you got 1 PAX point.
No, dude, no. I doubt that. That seems like a terrible idea.
I can 100% see this now. So you're going to get people saying, right, I've still not got my 5th PAX point yet. And you think, oh no. It's purely chance-based.
People are going to riot, for sure, 100%. No, so yeah.
That's what I'm hoping it's not.
Yeah, so I really like all of the choices that you guys have made, and those are the same builds that I'm excited for. I'm super excited for Overseer Techno, which is the healer Techno, the priest Techno, whatever. Wrecker Devastator as a bullet class sounds great. But like, dude, Pyromaniac Pyro, guys, I'm a Pyro main. I like to, some people just want to watch the world burn. Do Pyromaniac Pyro with Furnace and Burnt Offerings, that whole thing where it increases the burn duration by 500%, and every tick ticks higher. That shit, it has got me hot and bothered. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds phenomenal. I just saw a poll come up here. I'm gonna vote. I'm voting for Technomancer, dude. I'm voting for Technomancer. Let's go.
What is the poll? Literally, all I can see is the word Technomancer. I can't see what the poll is. I can only see Technomancer.
It's Devastator and Technomancer.
No, it's only Technomancer. It's the only choice. It's the only choice.
I tell you what, correct me if I'm wrong here, Mr. Motion, but you're a massive fan of the phaser beam. Is that right?
Yes, actually, I'm a phaser and eruption. I'm both of those because they're so like phaser definitely gets seen more. But whenever I do these carry streams and stuff like that on a Thursday, and somebody shows up like erupting stuff or phasing stuff, and the last Thursday there was someone erupting and phasing stuff. That I love it. Huge fan.
It brings a smile to your face, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
So I've seen footage. I did tell Dan about this, that we actually got some footage to suggest, and I don't know if this is a mod or if this is generally just something that's come to the
You mean the fast spin up phaser?
the faster firing
Yeah.
phaser, yes.
Yeah, it's 1.5 seconds quicker. That's official. Like that's a thing. You can see it if you time the footage of the reveal. You can see like it. No, actually, I'm lying. This could have been Play-Doh as well. So let's name drop Play-Doh here. But this could have been from Play-Doh's footage. I think Play-Doh has footage of like a very fast spin up phaser. But it's literally basically more than half the speed. So what I suspect is that this is a legendary set that does that.
They are
I don't
making
think it's a
changes to
mod.
current sets, and there are going to be 4. Hang on, let me check my notes. But I think it's 4 new sets. What's there? Oh, that's just gone on screen. Everyone can see my notes.
I'm very uncomfortable with how close this poll is right now. It's literally only 3% in
Is it? Is it? Let me see. Hold on.
So yeah,
It's neck and neck, bro.
sorry,
It's neck and neck. I'm quickly gonna log in with another account and vote again. 1 second.
I'm
Hold
going to
on.
be so unhappy if after all of this it still comes back.
50%.
If it's 50-50, I'm gonna shit my pants, dude. I think it's awesome.
So there's going to be 4 universal sets of armor and 2 legendary sets, two new
class,
legendary sets
right?
per class.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we know that there's a double overheat coming. That's a thing. You've seen that as well in some of the footage. So double overheat. So overheat with a little 2 on it. And then the phaser thing. I think these new sets have like this like phaser cooldown thing built in. That's what I think.
Okay.
But it'll be
just to add to
Fast phaser.
Zombie Killer, so maybe Torture set would be used with 500% duration as a tank build. I can tell you the Torture set is going to get an overhaul, which is going to basically work on the area of effect damage that you can actually deal. So that is one confirmed change. We don't know the exact details, but it's one confirmed change that we do have.
That's interesting.
I'm not a pyro main, but is that the one that's all about eruption? Torturers or
I can't. It's been a while since I actually played the pyro.
So Torturers. Okay, so let's work it out quickly, right? So obviously,
I'm not a pyro main. I can't tell.
Akari is Akari. Then we have one set that features into eruption a lot. No, Torturers is the one that's it's like the firepower one, isn't it?
I thought it was firepower, but it's going to go more into area of effect damage. They said so. They're going to change because that did change once, didn't it? They changed that once, and then I think they changed it again now.
Mods around, didn't they?
Yeah. They actually changed it to instead of stacking anomaly to stack firepower, if I remember correctly.
That's the one.
But yeah, they're aiming to get that more and not more area
So
effects.
Torturers is the one that increases the size of your volcanic rounds as it passes through by like triple or something like that. And so previously how this worked is I believe it stacked anomaly, which was fucking weird, right?
Yeah.
But now it stacks firepower. But I still feel that set's very underwhelming, to be honest. It's one of my least favorite pyro sets. But it has the Torturer's mask, which has probably one of the most important mods on it, which is why people look for it, which is Death Sentence, obviously for Ash Blast. So yeah,
that's that one. You can tell I haven't put too much time into a pyro, can you?
You can tell it's been a while since I actually did love the pyro. Who's been saying it quite a lot? I think it's Poof has been saying that it is the speedrun build.
Speedrunner, yeah.
And yeah, I've absolutely loved it just because it can just wipe out an entire map in that one.
Oh yeah, it's
one
ridiculous.
sequence of skills.
Yeah. and it's like you don't need like a fucking doctorate to do it. It is literally the most simple rotation ever. It's like it's what you want in something that's broken. It's easy to do, and it's really efficient. And that's the thing. That is speedrun pyro. It is literally like really easy to do and super efficient.
I like Tempest's 4 new sets equal to Cannibal.
Yes.
Can't
I
wait.
saw that and it put a smile on my face.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like, and you know what? I will personally take it upon myself to make those work.
The thing is,
what I'm interested in, and guys, do we have any kind of confirmation that there are weapon sets?
Not heard anything, but
I don't think the question's been asked.
No. Something to look into.
How cool would that be? So you have to
cannonball
wear the 3
shotgun or a
weapons,
cannonball-
right?
Specific gun.
Yeah. That could
How
be a good
cute
idea.
would that be? Because get this, that would mean that you could finally combine 2 sets. You could wear armor of one set and weapons of another set, and you can get intrinsically both benefits. How cool would that be?
It'd be pretty cool to have something like. I mean, you're mentioning three weapons, but I was thinking just the one that actually just goes into like a set. So for
Yes, I was
example,
thinking
like,
as well, yeah.
Zero fits into like the Borealis and all that.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I think that would be pretty cool.
Goran, John,
So
I'd back that.
Arkan, if you're watching.
we've had the confirmation that the new what do you call them, the open sets for everybody, the common sets, that they are only 3 pieces and they're not 5 pieces. That's something else that they also mentioned.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
probably something I missed,
Did you know
but no, I had no idea about that. But we'll find out soon enough. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
So clearly, we haven't asked enough questions. Is basically the main takeaway from.
I say if there's any questions that people, so we have 34 people here at the moment. So if you do have any questions, that maybe we can't answer right now, ask them. We'll see if we can answer. If we can't answer them, we have a route to the developers. We have a route to Square Enix. So we'll definitely ask them, find out, get the answers to you as soon as we can.
But more importantly, we've got 32 of you, and only 19 of you have voted. So.
And,
I was just about to say, it was
Technomancer's
58.
winning, baby.
It's
I'm happy
just
with
dropped.
at the moment.
It's just
It's still
dropped from
only
58
5%
to
though.
55.
There's another vote. So we got another vote coming in for Technomancer. Let's go.
35%, though. It's like, what, 2 votes? I'm so worried.
No, it'll be Technomancer. I believe it in my heart.
I want it to be a 50. You know what? Let's go on my personal account. I'm going to make this a 50-50 split.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? You're right. Hold on. Let me get on my phone here.
It's not showing on my phone.
I mean, so general sets only have 3 pieces. Oh, okay, fair enough. In that case, we'll have to. I
Which
suppose that would
means-
make sense.
which-
do they need 5 pieces in the end? I mean,
No,
do they
not
need a
really,
quick
not
trade?
really. But that means if let's like what you said just now, right? All right. So let's imagine a situation where one of these general sets is a pistol, a headpiece, and an armor, right? Then it could mean that you could then combine it with another general set that is maybe a chest, a leg, and a boot. You know what I mean? Something like that. So you could have 2 sets active at once. I would welcome that, to be honest. Like some that you could do. Like it would mean that you would have to use pistols or something like that. But you know you could do that. You know, so I would welcome something like that. I think that would be pretty sweet.
I look forward to something like that. I think I would.
52%, 2%
I mean, whether
in
it would be a case of, no, there's only 2% in it.
You're welcome.
50-50. 50-50.
50-50.
Close the poll. Close the poll. Close the poll. Close the poll. Dude, I'm gonna report the poll if you don't close it. This is hateful. This is hateful speech. It's done. 50. Boom. Done.
The least helpful poll we've ever done.
Beautiful.
Oh, Jesus.
Just so good, guys. That's just phenomenal.
Davo, quick one. Davo asks, what happens if there is a botch up on launch for Slayer? How would you think people react to this? I'm going to be honest and say there won't be. I'm going to bet. I could bet money on it. There won't be. That they are going to make sure it goes as smooth as possible. Jay Swimming, I believe it was, asks where is or how does he get his beta invite? It's a bit of an unfortunate one with this. You have to have played on the Xbox Game Pass or Xbox in general, I believe, or Windows Game Pass.
Well, you had to buy the
for-
game also through the Microsoft Store or something like that.
You have to have played 50 hours, I believe it was. If you haven't played
Yeah, I think
50
that's
hours,
roughly,
then you're less likely to be chosen for it, but there is still a chance, basically. Let's quickly get through the chat again.
See, I was about to say they've made the first beta only open to 2,500 people that are
Yeah.
in North America.
Mhm.
But when you look on like Steam charts and all that, there's not enough to like. Even if they invited everyone, technically there's not enough.
Everyone
people
who's
to be able to
playing right now, yeah.
Literally right now,
I
they
get
would
that,
get
you
in.
know,
Would get
it's
in.
like-
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
how select have they been with the beta? And
Do you think it? Do you think it's maybe also not because traditionally the platform that has like suffered the most with
DJ.
connectivity issues and stuff like that has been Xbox.
Yes.
So-
I suppose that would be the case.
Would it not be a case of them wanting to kind of almost like at the same kill two birds with one stone, so get those ones to test, but also in a way maybe reward them for having suffered the most? You know what I mean? Something like that.
Get your bottles out,
I
boys.
don't know.
Possibly, but I also think it's mainly down to.
I
obviously
could probably
Xbox
be
and
reading into it way
PC are
too much.
connected,
So
aren't
yeah,
I
100%.
suppose.
There we go.
You capture two.
Cheers,
audiences
DJ.
With one, don't you? Then.
Yo. Yeah, this is it's becoming interesting. now.
Mine's just getting
My man's
smoother
gonna be
and
so upset with me
smoother.
tomorrow.
Really? I feel like my bottle is refilling itself while we talk. Like, I could have sworn I drank you past this point now. What's happening here? It's the
I
autumn
think that
spring
was up to the top there. This is practically a new bottle.
bottle. Oh, really? Dude,
Jesus.
you were like doing the Lord's work there. Let's go, dude.
We
Good
clearly
times.
need to buy shot glasses. You would have thought we would actually.
Oh, I mean,
find out.
I do have one here, but
Yeah, it's okay. Well, you've basically been taking those size sips, so you're fine. You're good. Like,
Oh, perfect. Actually, I've seen a perfect question I really want to answer because I see it so much about on Outriders Discord, and I see it in other people's Discords and all that kind of thing. That's Jarvis's question that's just popped through, which is should we plan to scrap our current max build? And as a caveat, I'm going to add on top of that like god rolled items that we currently have. Just because apocalypse items are coming in doesn't mean that you actually have to scrap everything that you currently have. Even though because we aren't getting any more storage space as well. I would recommend that you don't scrap everything and just go on a massive purge, just because that's going to happen. Because once again, this is like as I explained to someone else that like for example, I've got like 3 or 4 god rolled death shields that I got from the appreciation package, and they're mainly used for firepower builds. Like forgive me if they're not, but most of the times nowadays,
Yeah, you're
like
right. You're
tricksters
100%
and all that
right.
kind of thing, yeah, used for firepower builds. So the damage on those is as max as it possibly could be, and I could quite happily level that with enough resources. I could quite happily level that from level 50 all the way up to 75.
and it would still be a great weapon. Great
exactly.
weapon.
And
Yeah.
just because there's going to be a third mod on it doesn't mean
so that
mean
third
mod,
third
is going
mod
to be
isn't the
automatically
be all and end all, is it?
exactly.
Yeah,
It
that
could be
third
a
mod could be
trash.
ass. Yeah, it could
Exactly.
be ass.
At the end of
So
the day, if you
damage
can
is
get that
mostly
third mod
important there.
to be something like Dark Sacrifice, you're
then by all
you're
means, yes,
winning.
wrap it.
You are winning. Get rid of everything else that you got before that. If you get that, sorry, if you get that third mod as Body Snatcher,
yeah,
then-
get rid of that.
get rid of the.
Throw that shit away.
I say that.
Stick with the 2 slot.
I would
slot
I would
one.
actually like to see how well
Two.
a Death Shield works on a Trickster using Time Rift with Fortress, Body Snatcher, and Dark Sacrifice. I actually want to see, because you'll bring that next person in front of you.
Listen here,
you
you're
don't have to move.
You're jinxing yourself because that's exactly what's going to drop for you. So I'm looking forward to see you make that build because I want to see it go, dude.
Initially,
I'll even
I
run
won't be
with
angry.
you when you play it. Let's go. Yes.
I genuinely would love Body Snatcher to actually be a good mod. Right, when the gun first drops, I genuinely love how it looks. I genuinely love what the mod says.
You love the idea of it, just not the
I
execution.
love the idea, but in execution it is absolutely terrible because it's so random that you can kill a Perforo, and instead of it bringing another Perforo to you, it brings the Behemoth.
Yeah.
And you're like, what am I supposed to do with you?
Thank you.
What
yeah.
are you doing?
This is not the takeaway I ordered.
I'm ready to kill all these little ones to be able to stack myself up, and you've dropped a brood mother in my face. What am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
It's just...
And I mean, knowing my luck, that's exactly how it's gonna turn out every damn time.
I look forward to getting that.
Going to be able to add a third. Williams mentioned about adding a third mod via crafting. As far as we're aware, you can't do anything with Apocalypse
as of
Gear
yet
to be able to make
no.
it. You can only get it. Hope it drops, and you can dismantle it to be able to get a new resource, which is called dust. And that dust,
space
which
rice.
we believe is a space rice, as everyone else is calling it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably going to because I've wondered what happens to drop pod resources now, right? And how
Interesting,
important
actually.
they still are.
You can get
right?
drop pod resources in the campaign.
Oh,
I was getting drop pod resources during the early access.
That's cool.
So
though,
you can
right?
get drop pod only a little bit. So I was getting like 30, I think it was.
Yeah, but it adds up though. I mean, that's good though.
I can't remember when you got it, whether it was on a kill or on a pickup. But yeah, you get drop pod resources during campaign now. Or during World's Day campaign.
That's phenomenal, man. That's cool. But I mean, I assume that's with this whole thing, like level up wherever you play kind of thing of this now. So yeah, that's cool. I like that. I like that. I think that's another thing that maybe doesn't get nearly enough coverage, is the fact that I've always said, like, as much fun as I have with the expeditions, I would love to just play the campaign through from start to end and actually have that gear matter. You could do that now.
You can with the Apocalypse Tears, 100%.
Yeah, that's a thing now. So I think there's a lot of things here. While we are, like, I almost want to say, and again, I'm not white knighting people can fly here in any way or anything like that, right? But I think that it's important that we shouldn't just focus on the things that didn't make it in, but we should focus on how much of the stuff that we were literally screaming to the heavens about actually did make it in.
And they listened. They listened to the community, and they have done, as much as the people hate on the fact that those nerfs and all that and the issues they had on launch. They have listened to the community from.
I think they've stuck with the game.
Like not from day one, because granted the nerfs came in and all that kind of thing, but pretty much as soon as those nerfs happened, they realised what it had done to the player base.
Yes,
they've listened then, and then they've been vocal about it. And then when New Horizon drops and they went, here you go, here's something brand new, here's something free to be able to appease you, because we genuinely just want you to be able to play our game and just enjoy it for what it is. And they teased us all back, and then obviously they then dropped a slight teaser for World Slayer, and everyone's been slightly talking about it up until now. And then the trailer drops, and everyone is now hyped for it. They've done a great job on that, I think.
The easiest way of saying everything you just said is Outriders is not Anthem.
I thought you were going to say it's not Dead Game.
No, and honestly though, it's never been. At least I played Anthem. It's never been, right. I think that I've said this the entire time, and that is that this is a studio that believes in their product, and that wants it to succeed. Simply because of the fact of how much like hate and vitriol they stuck around for, and they didn't go like, okay, you know what, we're not going to be able to, we're not going to be able to make this boat float, so we got to roll out, like something like that. So I have no, how can I say, like I have no confusion for me whether I think that this is a studio that believes in their brand and wants it to succeed. And as a person that consumes that, that's one of the most important things that I want, is I want the studio to believe in themselves. I want the studio to believe in their product. And once they do that, that means to me that you have longevity here. You have something that, becomes something more down the line. Even if right now, right, when World Slayer comes out and things are not exactly where we want them to be, I still have hope that we're moving towards something. And that's the point.
And I think New Horizon really did bring us into that kind of mindset. Like, everyone was a bit of on the negative side with, New Horizons came shortly after, was it shortly after, was it shortly before the Fortress and the Moaning Winds? I can't remember which way around it was.
It was kind of like almost around about the same. It was within the same month. It was within the same month. Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh, Fortress this, Moaning Winds this, global cooldowns, blah blah blah." And then New Horizons came in, and everyone was, back on the bandwagon, and they really smashed that out of the park for something that was completely free. for something that they expected no
Yes,
extra payment
yes.
for or anything like that. And
I
they
mean,
just
do
said
we?
for a game they had no plans on being able to add anything more to. They
Yes.
smashed that out the park. They really
The
did.
game
They
did
did
come
a
out
great job on
as
that.
this is the finished product. We're not
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
as it stands. We're not doing anything with it. It
Yeah.
got such a good launch. Let's be honest. It did get a good launch. It got a bad
They had a great launch.
bad
Better than
launch
we
in a way,
expected.
in some ways, but a great launch in terms of the number of players
Numbers.
that came in.
Yeah.
From that and the continued support from the community, they realised that they could make this into something a bit bigger. So that's where the World Slayer came into not necessarily just to here's new content, but to fix the game as well. They wanted the game to be in a place that they were proud of and people would enjoy.
Yeah.
And from then, I think they realised as well, whilst working on New Horizon, that we can add something new to this. We can go to, we can create World Slayer. I think that they always thought about Outriders possibly being a bit of a franchise, so there could be an Outriders 2 in the future. But I think almost the fact that they've created the DLC and whatnot almost cements that they are going to continue to work on that as well. So it's great to see.
Well, it of course depends on the
support
success of it.
from us, the community, and them, the developers as well. But it's good. We'll obviously say we'll need to see what happens in terms of sales. I've seen a lot of people saying from the as soon as it was announced, pre-ordered.
Pre-orders.
So there's a lot of people have already pre-ordered it. I assume you've already pre-ordered it.
Yes, sir. You know it. I mean, there was this whole like pricing fiasco on Steam. I don't know if you guys know about this, but
saw something that some people bought it at $35 and some bought it at 25 or something.
No, but dude, there was this unique, sexy window of exactly like apparently like 7 to 11 minutes where you could get the expansion at 35% discount.
I think that's what I got, and then I ended up putting it through for a refund.
And then
it's going to go up.
That's
there is a chance.
That's why you get the 50% right there. That's why you get the 50%.
I say there is a chance that we are getting World Slayer, to be fair, which is why we haven't pre-ordered. But we will obviously. My hand's hovering over ready in case we don't.
Yeah, I mean, basically, as you get close to that 48 hours, early start, and you don't see anything yet, you're like, no, I gotta go, I gotta buy this now, and then you fire off. Yeah, 100%. But I think for me, it's a case of I know that there's different sides to this thing. There's the whole pricing side of it. So is it priced too high? Is it too expensive for perceivably what we're going to get? And then there's the other side of it, that if you just take the price out of the equation, has the public opinion been spoiled to the point where people just go like, fuck it, burn me once, burn me twice, there will be no third time, something like that. And I've certainly come across viewers, at least in my comments, that fit into those two camps. People saying like, this should have been free. I disagree with that. I vehemently disagree with that.
I am happy to pay for it. The only reason why I haven't is because it has been mentioned ambassadors may, not saying we will, but we may get it.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys will.
But let's say if they turn around and say, sorry,
100% we'll buy it.
We've decided no, I'm not going to be like, well, forget that.
In that case,
I'm going to be, well, in that case, I'll buy it. So
in that case, here's my credit card, sir.
Yeah. It's not going to be any anger. I might, throw violently my card at them and go, take my money.
Where do I tap? Yeah. 100%.
I think considering like everything that's coming for it, the way that I would publicize it to people, if they ask me the question, is it worth the price tag? Are you just playing it for the story? If you're playing it just for the story, I would probably say no, wait till it comes down on sale.
Yeah.
If you're like myself and you're like
looking to put 200 hours into it, and
like an avid kind of like Borderlands kind of fan, you buy Borderlands, you play the story, you have a bit of a blast with the story, but you do it just to be able to get the bills to the end game, and you play all the end game content, and that's what you do. And I purchased Borderlands for the purchase, like just purely for that reason. just to be able to do the farming, to be able to do like any kind of in-game content and all that kind of thing. That's what I buy it for, and that's how I base my decision on that. And I know that World Slayer, by the sounds of things, is bringing in such an end game. I'm happy with the current end game that Outrider's done, which explains like the amount of hours I currently have in it. So to then tell me that there's going to be another end game on top of that, that's going to take even more hours of my time away from the current end game that's in there, and I've applied so many hours into it, then yes, 100% I can see value for money right there. And that's purely how I base. Yeah, that's.
No, couldn't agree more. I think that's very well said. I think I have this whole weird thing where what I do is I inevitably end up equating the amount of money that I spent on a game versus the amount of hours that I played it, and then I work out like a cost per hour.
I do the exact same. Yeah.
And there are some games that just win this by a landslide. And Outriders is easily one of them. Now, does that mean that I'm an accurate representation of the player base? No, maybe not. But the point is, if you ask me for my opinion, whether this expansion is worth the price of admission, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, we don't even know the full details, and we can already say yes. That's the worst part about it, really. We don't even know the details on the end game, really.
Yes,
to be able to base that decision. But the fact that they're advertising it as something that's more than what we currently have, and we already love what's currently in the game, tells me that yes, instantly I'm just going to pre-order it right there. And that's
that's fully agreed.
It's crazy. We can just do it on hearsay. It's great. We've reached that point.
Objection. Hearsay.
The objection. So
Sorry, I've been watching too much of the Johnny Depp trial.
You can see that so many people have already. So it's at 75-25. So yeah.
I was worried because I think those no votes, those 3 or 4 no votes, came pretty much straight away, and I saw it as like 60-40 when there was only like 5 votes in, and I was like, oh wow, have we really got that many people that haven't actually voted for it? And now it's started to even out a bit more to where I was expecting for the stream, to be honest with you, but. I mean, I think there's sort of in those no votes. I do think that and the chat can definitely tell me if I'm wrong on this. And this is just purely me as assuming this. Is it purely based on the fact that we don't have enough information out, or is it just purely based on the fact
burnt.
That
I don't want to do this. Yeah.
But they're not against getting World Slayer. It's just they want to know more about what's going to be in it to be able to make that decision.
Which is a completely valid state of mind.
Exactly. Yes, 100%.
So in fact. Screw the 48 hours early access. If you want to wait until you get like a review from one of these 2 boys or me or whomever, and then make your decision, that's also okay. There is really no this isn't like a race. There's really no and there's no DLC, but it's not like somebody's getting we're not getting the Renegade rifles again, right? so now it's just the 48 hours early access. So
yeah, that's the only bonus from pre-ordering is the early access. They have said there's going to be no new packs no similar to Hell Rangers. So
no,
it's just if you want to play it early, or do you want to wait and see what other people say? I mean, honestly, as of now, like the 45 minutes, 60 minutes we played, I really enjoyed what we played. I'd say go for it, but fully 100% wait until you've seen some more of it.
Until you feel comfortable. Because in the end, the only person that's left, having to deal with the purchase they made, but also having to actually play the game is you. That's it. It's as simple as that. Like nobody else is going to play the game for you. Nobody else is going to enjoy it for you. So you'll be able to know whether that's a thing or not. And I think personally, maybe I could just tie it back to the Game Pass whole situation. And so as I understand it, people that own this game on Game Pass are able to just buy the expansion and get good to go. So they don't have to spend the money on the original game because they already have it on Game Pass. Yeah. So that's even somehow like an even more beneficial situation in a way, because you are still enjoying the free upgrade that we got with New Horizon, because let's be honest, it was a free upgrade. And it's nobody, I have gone on record saying that I'm willing to pay for quality of life content for this game. Like if somebody gave me the opportunity right now, and let's be honest, there are games out there that sell you 5 US, 10 US, 15 US expansions to stashes. That's a thing.
True.
I'm saying if this game came to me and said for 5 US, give me double the stash, dude, I would happily pay it. I want this studio to feel taken care of in terms of money and in terms of support, that they feel that this is a franchise that they're willing to explore. I don't want them to abandon this franchise.
Yeah, I mean, microtransactions are good if done right. So, like you say, extra
But true
stash
value,
for
true
a
value,
for a
true
fiver,
value.
100%. If it's 10 quid, 20 quid, 50 quid, and you get this gun that makes you better than everyone else, that I'm against.
No, that sounds great. Or it's
Yeah.
10 quid for like blue, you know, like the color blue, then no, you know, like no thank you.
If it's reasonably priced, it's decent. Yeah.
It's not like Valorant with their £90 for a skin.
Oh Jesus.
For blue. It was for blue. It was £90 for blue. The ever beautiful Angry Joe did a review of that, which was just phenomenal, to be honest. It was just like crazy. Imagine if they let you buy in the stash, you could buy like another line of storage or whatever for like drop pod resources, right? Imagine. I mean, like I feel like games don't do that enough, you know, like where you're still incentivized to farm even after the fact.
I think Mortal Kombat does a good. I mean, I'm not a massive Mortal Kombat fan, but I know they have something like the crypt at the end, and basically when you do your fights and all that kind of thing, you get a some kind of resource or a points kind of base system, and then you use your points to be able to unlock certain parts, to be able to progress through the crypt, to be able to unlock like new characters, new outfits, all that kind of thing. That would be quite nice, I suppose. I mean, no, obviously, I'm not suggesting to the exact same extent or anything. No. But it would be nice to have.
I think Warframe does something similar. I think Warframe also allows you to use an in-game currency that you unlock over time to also like augment your stash and your storage capabilities and things like that. I'm speaking out of turn here. What I know about Warframe is dangerously little, but yeah, I think so. And
yet you still probably know more than us, because I think we only played like 2 days on it or something like that.
That's more than me. That's more than me.
I played quite a bit on the Xbox, I think, and then we tried it on PC, and then I don't know.
Okay.
Something like Outriders distracted us. Like, oh, Outriders.
No, wait a minute.
It wasn't an unpleasant experience or anything like that. Definitely.
No.
But it was just
definitely didn't deep dive into what you can do with it. So we played, I don't know, the tutorial. And then a couple of the missions, and we enjoyed it. But yeah,
it felt very Destiny.
Yeah,
which I suppose is a good way in a way, because Destiny has a lot going for it. But
no, 100%. But
we are coming to the end here. Quick question. So this should be a nice quick one for you, and then another quick one after that. If you could design any mod, what would it do, and what would it be for?
You fucker! You putting me on the spot here now. Okay.
Would it be a gun mod, an armor mod to start off?
Okay. So it'll be a gun mod. And go down this rabbit hole with me. All right. So after an enemy dies, you know what? Let me backpedal. Let me make it an armor mod, and then I'm gonna augment it a bit. So it's an armor mod, and it says that after an enemy dies to either an ability or a weapon, kill. So
just dies basically.
Yeah. Then your XP per mob increases by 1%, and this can stack up to 10%. But at 10 stacks, then it causes 5% damage to you. So it's like this vampire effect. But it constantly ramps itself the whole time, and it allows you to essentially, while you are trying to level apocalypse levels, ascension levels,
high risk,
then
high
it gives
rewards.
you this. Yes. That's what I would. That's my mod. And
Sounds
please
good.
tell me there's a mod like that coming, because you have
We
this
haven't
look on
we
your face,
haven't
Dan.
seen the mods. We haven't
Yeah.
seen the mod. I like it. It's a look of I like it, but we haven't seen.
Okay.
Honestly, we haven't seen any more mods than you have yet. So we didn't get enough time in it to experience the mods, unfortunately.
Sure.
But yeah, the final question then. What's your future in Outriders? Or in general,
Okay.
Outriders and in general, what are you looking forward to doing in the future, both Outriders and or what do you hope happens in both?
Sure. So, I mean, for me, obviously, it's the idea of experiencing the DLC and going through the campaign, whatever, and then starting to dive into the end game. Like you lads, I have all 4 classes, but I also have all 6 of my slots filled. So I need to see what the time investment looks like to take one class all the way to 200 ascension levels. And if that really is 100 hours, is it something that we can do in 50 hours, whatever, right? Ideally, I would want to take all 4 classes that way, and while doing that, of course, I want to explore the builds. I want to be doing the things that we have been doing with Outriders up until this point. But I'm obviously invested in this franchise. I'm a huge fan of it. I love playing the game. I love playing with other content creators, other players, the audience, everything like that. It's such like a wonderful platform for us to all engage together. Of course, I did the Fashion Riders thing a while back, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought it was hilarious. I really had a lot of fun with that. And of course, we're gonna get a whole bunch of new transmogs with this, right? So it's I'm invested. I want the studio to take me on a ride, and I'm there. I'm good for it, and that's it. Other than that, I mean, it's like I said. I feel like you also extended to the broader idea of where am I going, and that's it's to continue on with the variety thing and just I know that from now until the 30th of June is still a while though, so there's a whole bunch of things we can talk about from here until then. And then, of course, who knows what comes with the rest of the year. But more than that, I think I just want to take this opportunity to actually, as we're winding it down and we're coming to the end of this now, I want to thank you guys for this opportunity of being able to have this kind of discourse and have this kind of conversation with you guys. I think you guys are doing a lot for the community, and I think that you are a important part of the community. And I definitely consider you guys as friends and people that I like to hang out with and to play games with and to talk shit about games with. And so I want to thank you for this opportunity. And at the same time, I want to say to you that I'm looking forward to going on this, World Slayer journey with you guys and like maybe doing stuff together and just fostering this community that we so deeply share. We have people in your chat right now who are also people that come to my chat and that go to many of the other people that we've even seen in chat here. I know I saw Dake earlier, I saw Divine earlier. These are all content creators who are also inside this sphere, who are also inside this Outriders thing. And one of my biggest loves of Outriders from the beginning was this inclusivity that we saw with this thing. The thing that we all like sat around and we all spoke about the same builds and we all like hovered each other, or what's the right word, we all like sort of like existed in each other's like area, and none of us tried to it's a very inclusive
We're not very competitive.
community.
It's not like
There's no bad, yeah, no
Yeah,
bad
it's
blood
I've
or
never
anything
exactly.
like that,
I want
and
to get
this is
something
something
better
that you
than
see
Full
in
Measure. I want
Destiny
to
and
get
stuff
better
like that
than
all the
something, yeah.
time. Exactly. And I'm not shitting on Destiny or anything like that, but it's just an observation. But yeah, so to me, I honestly, I'm thankful for the opportunity of being here with you guys. I look forward to many more of these, and I look forward to the game. I look forward to hanging out with the audience and just more of this, because I think it's phenomenal and it's been a lovely journey. It's been great, and yeah, much love, guys. Really, it's absolutely awesome.
It's great that
Yeah,
you
genuinely
came
so.
along. We've really enjoyed it. Last question for everyone, including yourself, is who should we talk to next then to bring along, in your opinion? So this is you, Full Measure, and you, the audience.
Interesting. I think. I mean, to me, in terms of who I'd like to see, to me, I would say probably either Play-Doh or I mean, I forget his name now, and I'm a terrible person. Isn't it Birdman? He's the dev main, right? It's look within the thing. I don't know what your objective is with this. I think the idea is for you to kind of like create this like talking points with all of the people that feature within this community in terms of like from content creation, right? So the first person I'd like to see would be Play-Doh. I find his voice extremely calming. It's like a lovely thing to listen to at the end of the night when you're getting ready to wind down. The other person that I would compare it to would be someone like Vati Vidya, who does stuff for Elden Ring. I don't know if you know who this person is, but the point is, yeah, I would definitely. I think from a ambassador perspective, it would be quite interesting to start tapping ambassadors and see if the general excitement for the game is the same. The points of concern would obviously be very interesting, and just in general, sort of like where people handle that. But yeah, so I would say my vote would probably be Play-Doh. I would see Birdman as a close second. Dake would be great. Divine would be. There's so many. Is NYL Gaming, like there's so many. These are all great content creators that yeah.
100%.
I think you should have them all, man. I think you should do one like a couple of days before the launch where you literally get like all 10 of us in a call.
Oh,
Give it a go, and never consider that. To be fair, give it a go. See who we can get over the next few days, and then if they're happy to do something at the end. Someone mentioned Cloud players, and you know what? I'd absolutely love to get Cloud in and have a chat with him about it.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't believe Cloud has actually played World Slayer, so similar to yourself. So I think it would be a very similar sort of chat with him as it would be for you.
NYL is definitely
Buzz Lightyear, 100%. Leroy, I think, yeah. NYL, we were going to sort something with you recently. Definitely we'll get that sorted.
Between our plans and their plans, it kind of fell. But yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, this is a series we wanted to be able to do. I mean, the initial season 1 was there to be able to keep the hype in the game ready for when they actually did drop something like World Slayer. And the fact that World Slayer has now dropped, so although like the trailer has dropped, and obviously it's generated all that hype, it now makes sense to try and get as many people that are content creators to be able to highlight to their community to say, look, it's not just the big names or anything like that, it's still the small names as well. But obviously we still want to get some bigger names. Obviously we got yourself in there, 100%. And
thank you for that. I would never consider myself one of the big ones, but I'll take it. I appreciate that.
So yeah, I mean, we want opinions from big, small, all that kind of thing. Then this
just Outriders lovers, right? We want opinions from Outriders lovers, so that's the thing, right? Or people that have critical thought about the game, but that are willing to have a conversation, because that's a part that interests me as well. Like I genuinely feel that someone that has I'm not trying to say like I'm want to debate someone fucking down or whatever, but the point is that someone that potentially tried the game out for a week at launch, right, and then says, why should I come back? What does this offer me right now? And to have an actual objective conversation like that, I'd be very interested in that, because I think that this game, like everything in life, right, has suffered from like a certain amount of hype or negative hype in certain cases. And I still have people now coming into my videos saying like, this game was fucking dog water the first month in, I'll never play it again, it's terrible. And then I say to them, but like things have changed, right? It's the game is probably in the best state it's ever been in right now. Yes. And if you were even thinking for a second that you wanted to come back, you absolutely should do it now. You absolutely should. There's no reason for you not to. And that's the kind of message that I want to put out. Not as some kind of like people can fly shill or whatever. Like I'm not even an ambassador. It's a brand that I believe in, and I see the value in it, and that's the point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, now's the perfect time to, obviously, if you have already got the game. I mean, this is to everyone that's in the chat. I mean, I'm sure everyone in the chat right now is a seasoned player. Let's be honest, but if you're not, now is the best time to start grinding all those resources ready for when World Slayer does actually drop, because guaranteed you'll be replacing some of the gear, and you'll actually need some of those shards to be able to change, like obviously increase your cooldown reduction, firepower, all that kind of good stuff. So you're going to need a heck of a lot, and it makes sense to actually start grinding your way to be able to get to max as quickly as possible, really. So, I mean, you might as well experience it for the best that it currently is as well.
Exactly, 100%.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's a great place to be able to.
That's a
finish
wrap.
it.
Yeah, we'll end that. If you don't shoot off just yet, we'll have a little chat, just a quick one as we end.
Yeah.
After we end, sorry, not as we end.
Sure.
Let's see what Davis. At least what they would give the new audience to now try the game to call their fears.
So, Mr. Measure, do you want to do us the honor of obviously letting us know how can we actually find you, just anywhere, and
shout your socials out.
Anything off, yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So obviously I'm the full measure on YouTube. I'm actually the full underscore measure on TikTok. My God, I'm a fucking boomer that's trying out this shit. So give that a whirl. Of course, I'm on Twitter as well, but there you will find me as, you can search the full measure, but I'm actually Booty Sweat. So I'm on there, and those are the main ways to go. Of course, check out any of the videos on YouTube and join the Discord community on there. Again, a fantastic way to get hold of other like-minded players who enjoy the game, and just a great way for us all to hang out together. But that's it, and thank you again, guys. Thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity. You are absolute gentlemen and scholars for it, and I appreciate your effort.
It's been beautiful, been brilliant, and thanks for coming. But we'll end the stream there, so thanks for watching, everyone, and keep yourself safe. Keep yourself well. And then, sorry, Jason did mention, and I was going to do it before he mentioned it, a shot to finish the night.
Oh, right. Okay, let's go.
So I was going to suggest it anyway, and then he did say it, and I completely forgot until just then.
Let's go.
Drinks to end the show.
Here's to the first episode of season 2, eh?
Oh, here we go. Fantastic.
Hopefully the next guest will drink with us as well. Good stuff. Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.